As you probably know by now, Brawlhalla just released its worst patch in a while. But this video isn't only about that patch, it's also about something that I've been worried about, that I feel like is starting to happen. I don't know if this is just me, but it seems to me that BMG is prioritizing cosmetics over actual game mechanics. Now before I go any further, please do not go around yelling at devs working at BMG. Sure, you can criticize BMG as a whole, go ahead by all means, but I don't want you to get the wrong idea from this. They've dedicated a lot of time to the game, but with that being said, this patch was the tipping point for me in terms of wanting to make a video on this topic. How about we just look at the patch together, shall we? As you all know, part 2 of the Street Fighter patch just got released recently. By the way, is that what we're doing now? Releasing crossovers in parts? But surprisingly, my main issue from this patch isn't from the crossovers, despite the name of this video. Even though they picked a character with no gauntlets to be Sakura, or the fact that Petra gets both Ken and Ryu, and then there's Luke. I'll talk about him later. My main issue with this patch is the changes they made to audio on PC and mobile versions of the game. So if you play on console, you probably woke up to a bunch of confusion as to why people are so upset. I understand that part of the goal was to fix the sound effects volume. I do agree it was pretty loud, but I thought everyone agreed that the console engine is worse than the PC one. Not only are the sounds, for a lack of a better word, flaccid.
What do you mean by that?
They are drastically different, and some of them are reused, which makes no sense to me. The most notable sound change from this video is the weapon throw. Why does it sound like an unarmed hit? And if you've seen one of my other videos, which ironically enough is about crossovers, I mentioned how important sound cues can be in fighting games, since you react to sound faster than visuals. But now that BMG has changed the sound engine, we have to relearn what moves make which sound. Now obviously it's not as drastic as crossovers per se, but let's say you get hit by a ground pound. You know what a ground pound sounds like, and you have a certain way you like to dodge when you get hit by one. It has happened so many times that it's become muscle memory at this point. But now the sound is different. You may actually have to think about it instead of relying on your muscle memory. And what I don't understand is why not just change the console sounds to the PC sounds instead? But I don't know, maybe like the way the consoles are coded is too different, I'm not really sure. But at least the good thing is that they're aware of the situation, and hopefully they're looking to at least tweak the sounds. There are also some test features that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm glad they're at least test features, instead of just making a drastic change to the whole game like they did with the sounds. Now let's move on to something that might not change, the priority they put on crossovers. Now again, bringing up my other crossover video, there are some points that I made about how crossovers have advantages, but I'm not going to go through all of that again, but you can click here or the description of this video to watch it. If I launch Brawlhalla right now and go into the training mode and turn off collapse crossovers, you can see that we're on the precipice of having more crossovers than actual characters. Don't you think that's a bit much? Imagine being a new player wanting to check out the characters in training mode, and then you're greeted with this. Now I don't know if crossovers are collapsed by default, but if not, this could be quite overwhelming. I understand that crossovers probably bring in a lot of money for BMG, since they're more expensive, and let's be honest, they're also promotions for other games too, so I'm sure some money comes from that as well. And we do have to remember that Brawlhalla is completely free to play. But it feels like they're just making crossovers for the sake of making crossovers. Petra as Ryu and Ken, although she has two, that makes perfect sense. You have the Hadouken, the Shoryuken, I can get behind that. Dalsum as Rayman, again makes a lot of sense. Kind of off topic, but finally Rayman got a crossover. But Sakura as Lin Fei? I don't really see the reasoning behind that. It feels forced to me. Instead of having Sakura, maybe why not have Ibuki as Caspian? You have the gauntlets, which makes sense for a Street Fighter crossover, and then you also have Katars, which could be her kunais. And she also has a bomb too, so I could see that working. But don't get me started on Luke. At least they gave him gauntlets, but you can tell the blasters weren't really a good choice when he doesn't even use them for 2 out of 3 of its SIGs. Also, does Luke have to be broken in this game too? Like, I know he's broken in Street Fighter, but that doesn't mean he has to be in Brawlhalla. That hitbox right there is completely invisible since the animation doesn't cover it. So if you feel like you got hit by nothing, you probably did. Also, the aura that Cross has is completely gone with Luke, especially on maps like Brawlhaven. Now with that being said, I still love crossovers. I think they're great, but when you pump them out often, they don't fit the characters, and they're broken, it's hard to feel excited when one gets released. Their value diminishes, and we're already seeing it. People regularly make jokes about how BMG releases crossovers as band-aids, instead of actually fixing the game. Well, it feels like this patch is justifying that way of thinking, but I guess with all the videos and tweets they've already received, we'll see how they respond to the community's feedback. Oh, and I almost forgot. This patch completely broke Rayman. I think you have to use a specific gauntlet skin, but his end sig and side sig on gauntlets go completely invisible. So yeah, have fun with that while it lasts. And also BMG, can you please fix the naming issue? I've seen a lot of inappropriate names in game, and also a lot of people have complained about it on the subreddit. And I do know that there is like a filter, but it's not good enough when people can clearly write racist things. Now, I'm not advocating for Roblox type censorship, but I feel like there are a lot of obvious words that should be banned. And also phrases, because you can put two completely normal words together and make it really bad. But something I'll never get tired about from crossovers though, are the trailer animations. I don't know how many people they have working on them. Whoever's animating those crossovers are doing a great job. They are so well made, and I'll be honest, sometimes it's the best part about the crossover. Yeah, I don't think I'll get tired of those animations. It's also another reason why I keep saying I want to see a Brawlhalla animated series, but I guess now's not the time. Let's just focus on the game first, and then maybe we'll see something later down the line. I want to know what you guys think about this patch. Maybe there are some people out there that actually like it. I know most of the console players don't really care, but I think it's safe to say that most of us don't like the changes. But then again, for the test feature ones, I haven't experimented enough with them to really know if I like it or not. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. I just hope that Brawlhalla doesn't produce crossovers as fast as they are, because then the hype will start to diminish, and then at that point, crossover skins just become regular skins. And I also don't want Brawlhalla to fall into the free-to-play stereotype. Now what I mean by that is that a lot of people assume when a game is free to play, it's riddled with a bunch of cosmetics and the gameplay usually isn't that good. Also, taking to the fact that Brawlhalla is a fighting game, and most fighting games are usually not free to play, you can see why a lot of people don't take it seriously, even though it's pretty popular and successful. But when a bad patch like this comes out with a bunch of crossover characters plastered over it, it doesn't make us look good. Again, this isn't really a hate video. If I hated Brawlhalla, I wouldn't even be making a video about this. I just want to see BMG make good decisions, that's all. And I know there are some people out there who are diehard Smash fans, and they just hate Brawlhalla. Trust me, I've seen some of the comments. Things like this give them another talking point to say how much better Smash is compared to Brawlhalla, but I guess that's a topic for another day. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also make sure to join the Discord if you want to stay up to date when new streams or videos come out. And speaking of streams, by the time this video comes out, hopefully I'll be streaming today. If not, I may have already streamed, but still follow anyways. And thank you guys so much for the support on the last video, the multiverses one. It did way better than I thought, and now we're kind of close to 9k. I want to do something special for 10k. I was thinking of doing something maybe with the Discord. So yeah, there's another reason to join as well. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.